Well, thank you very much, Jim. It was one of the best hires I made as the new person responsible for the Chamber of Commerce of the United States. I remember it very clearly. We were at the World Economic Forum in Davos, and we were out having a lunch. And I said, Jim, what do you know about energy? Oh, I said, know a lot about energy. He said, I know how to use it to run a war. I know how to protect it. I know how to move it. I know where to go get it. And I sort of took a deep breath and I said, you want to try something? And let's go out and start this Energy Institute. And we did. And he did the smart thing, as he always did in the military, went and found the smartest people he could get to come and do it. And it has been a great asset to our country and to other countries around the world as we have liberalized and expanded and used energy for many, many positive and responsible purposes. I would say about Jim, but I would put in front of it the word quiet. I would say that Jim is a quiet tiger. He has fixed more things for more people. He has fixed more things for our country, and I'm just honored to have been a part of some of those things and have learned a great deal from him. Thank you very much. Now, on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, I'm pleased to be part of this conference to celebrate and strengthen the vital relationship between the United States and Turkey. I want to thank the American-Turkish Council for convening this annual event, as well as its chairman, Jim Jones, who, as I just said, has been a longtime friend. I also want to recognize and thank all of the leaders on both sides whose presence and participation signal their strong support for the bilateral relationship, including His Excellency, the Minister of the Treasury and Finance, Her Excellency, the Minister of Trade, His Excellency, the Minister of Defense. You will hear later on from the Secretary of Commerce, Wilbur Ross, and a host of other American leaders. And all of the CEOs and business leaders and government officials from Turkey and the United States who are here today have my thanks. Through our U.S.-Turkey Business Council, the Chamber has worked closely with many of you to advance our shared interest in the U.S.-Turkey commercial relationship. For example, the American-Turkish Council and the U.S.Chamber recently led a joint business delegation, as Jim indicated, to Ankara, where they met with the President, the First Lady, cabinet ministers, and other key stakeholders in the business and government functions in both countries. This mission included, as Jim indicated, 40 companies and was the most significant U.S. delegation of executives to travel to Turkey since 2014. This morning, I'll briefly share some of our observations, ideas, and priorities stemming from the business mission and other recent high-level discussions between U.S. and Turkish economic leaders. First, I want to unequivocally state the U.S. Chamber's support for a robust trade and economic partnership between our nations and pledge our commitment to ongoing dialogue and greater commercial engagement. Simply put, Turkey is very important to the U.S. business community and therefore to the United States. There are some 1,800 U.S.-backed or based companies doing business in Turkey. Together, they directly and indirectly employ more than 100,000 people. 60 Fortune 500 U.S. companies have made Turkey a regional hub for operations in Africa, Europe, Eurasia, and the Middle East. Many of these and other companies are part of the U.S. Chamber's U.S.-Turkey Business Council, and also the ATC, because they recognize our collective and unique ability to engage U.S. and Turkish business, industry, and government leaders. Because of the commitment of business associations and private and public sectors on both sides, our commercial ties remain strong and will get stronger. Despite challenges in the border relationships, two-way trade increased by nearly 10% from 2017 to 2018. This is a welcome development and a clear sign that the U.S. and Turkish business community continues to find value in working together and sourcing from each other. We're also encouraged that our nation's leaders share the goal of boosting trade to $75 billion. Sooner, the better. This is a very ambitious target that the U.S. Chamber wholeheartedly supports, and to make it a reality, we need the help of our policymakers to clear the way for free and fair trade. There are actions both countries must undertake to make that happen. First and foremost, to build a closer commercial relationship, we must jointly reduce or eliminate tariffs, including the Section 232 tariffs on steel and aluminum and the retaliatory tariffs that have hurt many U.S. agriculture producers. The Chamber continues to vigorously oppose tariffs on steel and aluminum. In Turkey's case, steel tariffs into the U.S. were even doubled from 25 to 50%, and everybody knows about that. But what I keep in mind is American companies pay them, and it makes sense for us to find another way to resolve our differences. Far from addressing a real national security threat, these tariffs have mostly hit our closest allies and our best customers. The Chamber continues to press the U.S. administration to remove these barriers to trade. If we want to reach $75 billion in our trade target, we need some help from our friends in Turkey to show the willingness to reduce tariffs as well as non-tariff barriers so that we can strike a reasonable deal. Second, we believe that structural economic reforms in Turkey are essential to building investment confidence, both domestic and foreign. Businesses crave certainty. You know, everybody thinks about the people that run large companies all around the world. They're the great leaders. They're the Tiger Woods of the business community. That's true. But they still crave certainty. Uncertainty gives them the shakes. And so greater predictability and transparency in government policies and regulations will help attract more U.S. investment. I will say that the U.S. administration has been vigorous in trying to reduce regulation of business in this country, and we can all learn something from that. U.S. companies, you know, are anxious to seize any promising investment opportunity. Our members would like to see greater market access, especially in strategic, high-value sectors such as the digital economy, healthcare, and agribusiness. They see Turkey as an attractive base for R&D and high-tech investments, which would create tremendous value for the Turkish economy. Energy trade is another very significant opportunity for us, with favorable terms for LNG exports and imports. The U.S. can start working with Turkey to enhance its energy security right now. Third, Turkey is one of the fastest growing foreign investors in the United States, adding value to our logistics, manufacturing, and aviation sectors. Thank you very much. We must not let excessive regulation and red tape and other disagreements slow us down. Likewise, we have opportunities to make things together. We already have highly successful partnerships, such as the joint ventures between Boeing and Turkish Airlines and Dow with its Turkish partner. We need more of these kinds of mutually beneficial deals in key industries ranging from manufacturing to services and defense. The Chamber is closely following the important defense procurements under discussion. We strongly urge both governments to continue to work together to reach a successful outcome on these transactions. I must note to my Turkish friends here today that American products and technologies are by far the best in the world. Our joint production and R&D with Turkish partners make both countries safer and stronger. Next, the Chamber encourages the U.S. and Turkey to move forward on digital trade in goods and services, especially when it comes to data. A formalized digital dialogue between our governments could help build a data-sharing framework with cross-border data flows. Taking these steps will help the U.S. businesses pursue more opportunities in Turkey while also promoting the vast yet complex U.S. market for Turkish investors. Now, we hope the ambitious goal of $75 billion will help re-energize talks for strategic trade and investment opportunities and give our countries more reason to do business with one another. Our governments can show they're serious by recommitting to the U.S.-Turkey commercial relationship through a cabinet-level economic and commercial dialogue. Such a dialogue did exist in the past, and it was an effective platform, in my judgment, for advancing shared interests and addressing common concerns. It's important for both governments to frequently consult the business community during this process. Reviving that dialogue would provide an opportunity to tackle many of the issues discussed here today that will be discussed here while working towards the $75 billion goal. Let me conclude with a couple of thoughts. As global leaders, the U.S. and Turkey must seize these opportunities to fortify our relationship. We must work to lower trade barriers, increase investment, and act in partnerships in fulfilling global responsibilities. And all of the stakeholders must continue to engage our public sector leaders to drive reforms and build momentum. As good friends, our nations will have some differences from time to time. There will always be problems to address and commercial disputes to work on. After all, what else are ambassadors and people in important government jobs going to do? But overshadowing all of this is the fundamental economic and strategic importance of a strong and vital partnership between the United States and Turkey. Looking to the future, if there is one word we should all take to heart, is the word opportunity. I think we must seize it. It is something for the benefit of both countries and companies. And if we leave it, if we don't grab it now and deal with it, it'll be much more difficult in the future. I like the word opportunity. It's before us, and we better take it now. Thank you very much.